Yo, can you guys hear me? Just let me know quick. uh, okay, that's great. Wow, so many less people on the stream today. Was people just like interested in ETF and now they are no longer interested in streams or uh okay, let's switch to trading view. Okay, let's begin. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Markets looking really good, to be honest. I couldn't have said with more conviction about PTC bottom being in and yesterday longing on the stream and calling for the group. It even gave the retest of the entry for those who missed uh, last night. I think similar to our long that we took here, I have taken 50% out. Remaining, I think we get to TP around 72k, maybe even higher, but we'll see. But other than that, before we move on to market thoughts and stuff, as usual, I'd love to know from you people how your trading has been. Hopefully, none of you flipped bearish as sell of news kind of shit that was revolving around the space. People forgot that this market isn't ETH related and it never has been. It was only a short term period where ETH showed some significance into the market direction, but BTC was bullish way before even the ETF started. So yeah, as usual, I'd love to know from you people what you think about the current market. How are you positioned currently, and what are you looking for in coming days? Yo, Mario, how you doing, brother? Cypress, can you please stop that? I've gotten like 20 tags already in a day, and no, it's not my birthday. Currently in Manta Popca, the main issue you people you know do with your PNLs and not make good money in these conditions is you people really fade longing BTC. Like literally, I don't see a single asset right now that's outperforming BTC right now, right? Even most of the memes that were running strong are lagging hard. Most of the majors are lagging hard, right? Even in yesterday's stream, someone asked me why are you not longing ETH or anything else, and I was like, if this has to bottom, the cleanest play that you could size up the most is BTC itself, right? The size I took on BTC, I couldn't have had that much conviction on any rest of the alts in the market. That's pretty much, I think, the mistake people make is that yes, alts are really attractive. You want to long alts every time. You get a pullback, buy them a bit on spot, and then just chill on them, right? If you want to take a good short-term leverage trade, always size up good on BTC because in these conditions, BTC is going to give you the cleanest and the less stressful and the most gains and the place you could actually size up the most, right? Uh, please don't nuke BTC. Shut up, man. Like, can we have something new? Our streams are no longer nuking the market. Um, I closed at 68,600 because I longed 66 700. That's decent. That's nice. But I would still say letting your BTC plays run for a longer time. You could probably still see that over the next few times, like hours or even day or two, BTC still leads in my opinion. I think the alts mini fun and ETH mini fun you had might be over. Uh, Yo, Cartman, how you doing, brother? Ah man, BTC looks so good. And it's also great to see. And I think we talked about that in the yesterday stream as well. The only thing that wasn't looking good to me was how weak BTC was, and people flipped really bullish just because ETH and alts were strong. That isn't a good market to be bullish on. This is actually a market you should be bullish on, right? A dominance led market, BTC leading the market. Alts, I don't think you need. You should be ever getting higher time frame bullish on alts unless we make new all time highs on BTC. As long as we are within this range, you should always hope for alts to lag and BTC to lead so that we are finally able to break the range and run into all time highs on BTC. Uh, Next TP is around 72K. Yeah. One of the alts that look really good is Near FTM Sol. I think they both, all three of them. Wow. Near is running. Let's go. Who's calling me this time of the day? By the way, thanks for your updates in a corner again. For me, they have been. You're welcome. You're welcome. I do appreciate if people do appreciate those updates because mostly I feel like most of the people are just related to entry price, TP, stop loss. Uh, but yeah, what downtrend you talk? Right now, BTC is at 69K and downtrend. I don't think BTC has ever broken the trend. Like this is the picture I drew this morning, right at the bottom. As long as these higher lows hold, maybe even if it rejects here, I think there's a good chance that we might have a short-term rejection here. But I do feel like we'll have this grinding up price action, which over the period of next week eventually breaks higher. That's kind of my plan. Uh, UHPJ was up writing BTC. That's great. Good to know. I feel like most of the people fade BTC calls while I literally like stress the most on them. And like BTC plays are the ones I have the highest size always and the most convictions on. Uh, like even though Near is going good, but the size I have on Near, I don't even care about it. But I'm pretty sure people would be like more sized up on something like Near than on BTC because BTC isn't attractive to people. Uh, Weekly on BTC looks six. I agree. And to be honest, this morning I woke up and everyone started bear posting on how bad was looking because weekly was almost like closing kind of like red this morning, right? And everyone started bear posting on how this is sell of the news and you know how bad weekly looks and stuff. Still too early to say because it's like 3 days into the weekly close. But I also another good thing to have is that if you people remember, and you know, a lot of people were asking about why this BTC sell off, right? And then you uh, compare it with what stocks did yesterday due to the Chinese war fund, and just see that this US Open, as soon as you saw BTC stocks bouncing from here, look at the reaction on crypto. So, especially like after ETF, BTC ETF thing, stocks have been way more relevant to crypto market than ever, like they were few years back or a year back. So, always good to look at what the other risk on markets are doing because now you are getting more of correlations than ever. Yeah, I think it's better to move. Near is so FTM is such a pain, man. Like, yeah, it's moving finally, but I don't know why I even chose FTM. Like, the chart looks great, but Sol I think goes to $180 soon. To be honest, the reason I say that is I posted about three coins. We are in Near and FTM. Sol, I felt like those would be too many calls to call, to be honest. But I think Sol's going to 180 at least because it's sitting up in a good place where ETH is lagging a lot. Sol has been sold off decent, 12-hour RSI retest. And the same thesis for all like Near and FTM as well. And one of the reason I say exact 180 is if you zoom in, you have a flat 4-hour open on why is my trading view lagging? uh, okay, if you zoom in, this is the flat 4 hour open on Sol that I think gets revisited very soon. So yeah, I think one. Also, this makes me bullish on our Popcat position. I feel like Popcat has been lagging for a long time, but now to me it finally looks ready. To be honest, like if you get now a mini Sol season, like considering ETH might lag for a while, um, and considering how strong ETH meme coins ran, I think Popcat runs once Sol runs a little. Like just look at how tightly it's consolidating around this trend line and under this resistance. I feel like you just need a mini Sol rally and this thing's run. Wow, FTM what a bounce. We are good on all our positions, man. Let's fucking go. Are we all long right now? Nah, I'm out of ENA. I gave a long thesis of why I sold my ENA and profits, and that's kind of playing well as well. ETH's lagging since then. ETH to BTC is down like I think 2 to 3% at least since I gave that thought. Let's check ETH to BTC. Yeah, still lagging. I feel like I like once BTC tops out, I think a small ETH move is due. Once we get that, I might take a ETH to BTC short and even call out for the group. Okay. Um, Added to FTM. I hope FTM runs, to be honest. I have some strong triggers on FTM, but I don't know why it's lagging this much. Also, there's like a really big whale that's constantly selling on FTM. Like, if you were watching FTM charts since evening, this sell happened when like literally BTC was going up and everything else was going up, and someone sold almost like 3 million worth of FTM like in a single 1 minute candle. So some big player uh, is unloading at these prices, but I feel like once um, that shit guy is done, I think it runs strong. Also, it was like the highest 1 minute candle, highest volume 1 minute candle on both spot and perps. Yeah, just look at the volume on this candle. If you could see this one, there were almost like 3 million FTM sales in a single 1 minute candle. So there's, I feel like some big players unloading, and once they are done, I feel like this thing runs. uh, Dr. Master, Assalamu alaikum. Joined a bit late. No worries. We haven't discussed a lot yet, so yeah. uh, where do you think FT will go from here? I think AI coins will continue to lag short term, and I've been saying that for a while now. Apart from Near, Near could be the only AI category coin that I think could still do well. Near looks so good. Like, just look at this chart, man. HPJ, what's your thoughts on chain? Like, sell it. That's my only thought. Might be a stupid question, but which indicator is that you showed on FTM on the bottom of that's simple volume, just plain volume indicator. Uh, wait for real. Yeah, I'm not joking around. Uh, okay, ask from any of the members that are on stream, and I think none of them would have a difference of opinion than me. Chainlink is fire. Shut up, man. Uh, it is not for real. There are few coins that I actually FUD people out with conviction, right? Like, I have conviction in FUDding people out of those bags. Coins like Chainlink, XRP, um, Cardano, Matic, all these Dino, high cap, dead stuff. Just fucking get out of them, man. Like, what are you even thinking holding them till now? Um, uh, what else do we have to talk about? Ondo? I feel like let's have a bit more detailed talk on market before we start rotating into alts. FTM looking great, man. Can we please, like, I've held this thing with such a good size. It's probably my only good size leverage long on alt side, and it's also running with full position size on the challenge. So I hope it does give a decent run. Uh, no partial. I did Picasso. First of all, your username is weird. Picasso. No partial TP. I did take, like, look at my corner. I did take out 50% on BTC. My 50% is now alts. Uh, Near I should have. It popped out like 3.74%, but never mind. Let's wait a little. It is at this trend res, which it does need to break out of, but if you people want, feel free to take some profits. FTN has been really strong. No, it hasn't been. Like, if you're talking from few days back, yes, it has been, but like lately, it's one of the most like weaker L1s on the market. But it looks so great on the high time frames, like this flip, this retest, RSI above 50 on 12 hour. Like if we get a bit of false rotation, I do expect FTM to run strong, but let's see. Um, Also, can Mario and Dr. Master, can you both stop having a conversation of your own in a public stream chat? Um, near protocol what? Can you check INJ? I hate INJ to be honest. I don't know why people are like, it ran 10x, just get out of it, man. Like, no. I hate people fudding out of their bags, but yeah, pretty much the same. I remember people being super bullish on INJ due to the small run up, and literally at this Pico top, I mentioned I think in two consecutive streams that don't get into INJ unless it starts to flip above, because it's like now one of those weird coins that like out of nowhere shows some strength, like it did after this Warfart buyback. But then like rest of the month it just keeps on either bleeding down or just ranging around. I think INJ initial part of the cycle did prove to be a really tempting uh, L1 narrative along with Sol, but I think the market has faded away this narrative by now. So just don't push on old runners that are no longer runners. To be honest, uh, there's much better stuff to focus. Like I'll be happy to ape back into ING or get some ING exposure, but only if like if it starts to flip back, let's say 30 31, maybe I'll try a position. But until then, it doesn't look that good. uh, can you check LFT scam token that? But yeah, since it's like 100% pumped, what do you want me to do about it? Can I ask you position? Okay, so the issue with Pepe is that lately it's not uh like the kind of meme season you are getting. It's not like all meme coins running kind of a season, right? It's just specifically which L1 is running, and then that L1's meme coins running, right? For example, a week before, Sol was on its insane run into $180, and those were the times. If you exclude a bit of the CT FUD, the Don Alt FUD we got on VIF and Sol meme coins, but most of the times whenever Sol ran, the Sol meme coins performed really well, right? Like Popcat, Viv, there's another one, Michi, if I'm pronouncing it right, the cat meme coin, the newer cat meme coin. So those performed really well, right? But then um, a week later, like a week before, you started getting the ETH ETF hype, and then the meme coins started acting like meme coins this cycle are the strongest beta to any sort of narrative you want, right? Like I won't be even surprised if they eventually find a meme in the RWA narrative, in the tokenization narrative, and that meme ends up running insane, right? Because my point is, whatever narrative you see, like if either it's Sol narrative going on, Sol ecosystem going insane, memes act as the strongest beta, right? Like in the past, like if you people remember in like December, January when this run initially started, whenever Sol used to move up like 5-10%, Bonk used to go up like 20-30% that day, right? Same goes for I think Feb March run of Sol when VIF used to act as a strong beta. Now last week you saw that ETH hype started in the market and Pepe started acting as a strong beta, right? Like you could see right after ETF approval, ETH didn't even make new highs at the approval, right? While Pepe ended up making like 20% new highs at that specific time. So coming back to the final question you asked, I feel like ETH short term could be lagging a lot like it is today. Because I feel like also when I look at a bit of flow side, like Phoenix has been T-wapping on ETH to BTC for a long time and now it's been selling. Also, a lot of people are getting like super bullish on the people got super bullish on the ETF approval, even though it's is super bullish. But I did give a like a small write up on what my thoughts are on the ETF, which is that even though it's midterm really bullish on the 19B form getting approved, but you still need the S1 approval for the final trading to begin, and that could take a very long time. It could take anywhere from weeks to even months. So people are just underestimating how late the actual trading of ETF could begin. But again, I am not a believer of like sell of the news kind of thing, or the market is going to dump or ETH is going to dump. Dollar wise, ETH might still go up, but I feel like ETH is still going to lag a bit. In fact, a lot in short term, right? Because that narrative, that like extreme hype that was created, people have started to realize that the hype was like of no point, right? Because the trading is still months later, which it would begin. So now coming to the point, my point is like if ETH to BTC is going to lag, and then Pepe was kind of the thing that started this last leg up due to ETH to BTC being strong and acting as a ETH beta. So if ETH to BTC lags and ETH doesn't get a bit of as much of a traction, I feel like Pepe might start lagging. And if like Sol starts to outperform Sol meme coins like Bonk, Whiff, Popcat, they start running. But again, a lot of ifs and buts. There could be that I might be wrong about ETH, and ETH actually starts running again. Then definitely Pepe would run too. So I think you just need to look at how ETH is performing to just know how Pepe would do in mid short term. So, what would be a good entry? Do you people like wait for me to call a play for it to then go up and then ask about what would be a good entry? Like I called a near long. Um, I feel like how much up has it gone? Yeah, 3.8%. Um, I feel like now it should, to be honest, kind of now eventually break out of this trend. I won't want another retest on the entry back, so probably better to move stops. Yeah. Mm, how long is the 12-hour close? It's 1 hour and 30 minutes. Hmm. Let's in fact wait a little. Let's not be too early. So as long as I don't move my stops break even, you could bet the entry I have, and then just stay updated to what updates I give. Uh, what else do you have to talk about? Also, how was the ETF approval day for you people yesterday? Boring? Why boring? I think like yesterday was one of the most like interesting days of the month. I long BTC a bit early, but TCA down. Then you called and so I TCA. Okay, that's good. Shorted the dump on Sol, so pretty fun. Okay, ETF approval effects will show in the future. Good at, yeah, 100%. Like even though I said that short term ETH to BTC might go down and ETH would lag a lot, but you really can't fade what ETH is eventually going to bring, right? Because you saw, okay, if I have to put it in perspective for you people on how to gauge how much good ETF could bring to the market, whatever ETH did the last 3 days, like before the approval, uh, like this entire run, you could pretty much compare it with. Uh, Compare it with BTC. When we got the fake coin telegraph intern telling that ETF got approved, if you people remember, and if you people were actively trading market that day. And the reason I compare these two situations is that this was actually a fake news, right? This entire candle, if you people were there at that time, right? This was a mere like a complete fake news, but this actually did tell you right at the bottom, right at 27 28K bear market times, that how sidelined people are actually on the BTC ETF approval narrative, right? Because before this coin telegraph fake um approval and stuff, most of the people kind of faded the BTC ETF narrative, right? Most of the people were like, it won't be a major catalyst in the market, and like those were the bear market times, right? Everything was getting bear posted uh in one way or other. But this specific single candle on a fake news kind of told people and made them realize how strong the narrative of the ETF approval would be once it actually comes, and how much of money is actually sidelined to be put in once the ETF gets approved and starts to trade, right? Now come back to ETH. Even though it was not a fake news, but okay, even though it was not a fake news, but it was still something that actually hasn't happened yet, right? ETF kind of, even though it has been approved, but the actual trading and the S1 form getting approved is much, much longer, much later, right? So this like 20 30% move is literally nothing on what would actually come once the approval comes, once like the actual full approval comes, all ETFs get approved, all get the S1 form, all starts to begin. I think you are on ETH where we were on BTC around like 28 29K, where the fake coin telegraph news came, right? So on higher time frames in like coming months or so, it's really bullish. But short term, I do expect a bit of lag. But I agree that ETF getting approved, because 19B form getting approved kind of does tell you that, um, that eventually it is no way that rest gets rejected, right? Eventually full ETF would get the approval. But but short term, yeah, I do think you could expect a bit of lag, because people started to finally realize that they just got too hyped in really short term for like no actual reason, because it's still a long time to go before it approves. But once it gets approved, not only it would be really bullish for ETH itself, but it would also kind of open doors for more ETF approvals, right? Because there was a time when people never believed on anything else than BTC getting any approval, right? But once ETH gets approval, there would be doors opened for Sol getting approval. Next, maybe XRP getting approval. So everything, I think, just goes in line and just connect. In the end, it's just dots getting connected in the midterm, right? So uh, midterm, long term, super bullish, but just short term, I think ETH lags a little. Yeah, could be. Like I won't be surprised if in like coming time you eventually get like a Dodge ETF approval, right? Because Dodge last cycle got pretty famous among the boomers as well, right? It was not only us crypto people talking about Dodge. Maybe if like by then, Pepe or uh, Pepe or Whiff or these meme coins end up replacing Dodge market cap, then probably these get the approval first. But yeah, I won't be surprised when eventually meme coins get some ETF too. And it's nothing unrealistic. When ETF starts, would they not sell first a lot, as they are 400% up and have huge amount of ETH holdings? I don't think so. Uh, I think a lot of people are trying to mimic PTC ETF to ETH ETF. I feel like these both are way different. I feel like ETH ETF would get way more demand attraction than BTC got. Um, but yeah, STX is getting a trust from Grayscale. What does that mean? For real? If that's the case, why aren't we seeing any like? Why is like the it is like the most trade coin on the market right now? It looks so bad. I might try a bonk long to be honest. If I see some strong flip back above. But also depends on how Sol performs. I need some strong move on Sol, then probably I'll try to chase that through bonk. Maybe Popcat too. Popcat I'm already in decent size. Back to entry now. It's strange how nobody cares. Nobody cares about what's good fundamentals or what's like good for the project or anything. If it's not interesting to people, it's not interesting. You can bring god tier fundamentals to it and people still won't care. Uh, can you check Ondo? It's strong as fuck. Yeah, I agree. Um, like the more ETF narrative revolves around, more Ondo goes up. I think on Ondo, a really good playbook would be, and people following from like past streams know this is like one of my favorite plays to take on things that head into price discovery is that just like don't be aggressive at the first break of previous all-time highs. Most of the time they end up trapping longs. The only thing you need to wait for is for it to puke back down, trap shots on people, shorting double top and thinking that this is like all-time high deviation, and then you just wait for it to reclaim back the previous all-time highs, and that's your trigger to start longing. Because once you get this kind of setups are like 100% win rate setups where you get like strong rally up. So on Ondo, do wait for something like this. You just need to mark like a single line on your chart, wait for the price to go down, and then long the reclaim back above. What do you think of RNDR? As I said, Jeff, I am not like short term to like few weeks or few months bullish on AI right now after Nvidia earnings, because I don't like if it's a long term bag for you, then you could definitely add on to when you feel like it's giving you a good price to add. If you have long term bag in long term perspective on AI narrative, but short term, I personally have no interest on AI coins since the Nvidia earnings until I see some good catalyst coming back on the AI narrative. GRT, let me check. What's this? Yeah, it would have. I think so. Is this a wick or is this my tool on the chart? Let me remove it. Yeah, it did. And yeah, I'm not looking to re-enter this coin because this was my AI exposure. But just look at how AI coins have started lagging ever since Nvidia earnings. So no, probably not. Also, ever like to hedge yourself, for example, scalp short BTC, but still swing for higher on like same position? No, I could hedge, for example, like if I'm in really good size spot packs and BTC enters a position where like place where I feel like market either breaks and sends much higher or rejects and things could puke down. I would just hedge my spot buys or some of my swing alts plays or other plays with maybe even a BTC swing. But yeah, I could like, but it would be once like things are in really good profits, right? Like I see people hedging plays, their plays which are like around entry or even underwater, right? Plays that are already in loss, they begin to hedge those plays. Those don't make any sense. Yeah, if I have really good bottom entries and market is heading much higher and approaches an area where I feel like it could reverse, you could try a scalp hedge short or something of that sort. Like this is where I really want to see acceptance back above. One thing that I don't want to see on BTC and where I might go short term risk off is uh, if this 4 hour rejects from here, the trigger. If this 4 hour RSI instead of breaking above 50, this 4 hour closes like a red or a slightly green, and this RSI starts looking like this, like a rejection from 50, and this starts looking like this, I might start shorting the market, to be honest, or might start booking profits across the board because this is a really, for me, a really signal of a beginning of a short term downtrend. So just waiting on this 4 hour close and how I would love that this 4 hour closes above this 4 hour level, which is like 69 200. If it closes above, then I think it's super super bullish. But on the other hand, if it does something like this, I might start looking for some shorts. Let's see. Do you think Ondo is long term hold? Yeah, 100%. Like RWA narrative, I've always said people that in this cycle always only follow like focus on the three narratives of the market. I don't know why people still somehow focus on some dino stuff. Like someone said, I'm a big holder of Chainlink or other coins or even gaming narrative, right? While market has proven to you time to time in the cycle that the only three narratives people really care about the cycle are AI, meme, and RWA, right? That's it. You don't need to have any other sort of exposure in your account. uh Also Sol, right? Like Sol is, I don't count L1s as narrative because like they are just, for example, you won't call BTC as BTC going up as BTC narrative, right? Same as I goes for Sol, but obviously some sort of Sol exposure, and then AI, meme, RWA. I don't think so Link is RWA, but even if it is, get rid of it, man. Whatever. Okay, what if I tell you that you have heard about Fell, right? Let me show you Fell chart. What if I tell you that this Dino coin that has pretty much like retraced most of its bull market move is also a AI coin. Like they have pivoted completely to AI right now. Now, would you start buying this coin? Like just knowing that now they have pivoted to AI, that now we should start buying since you are bullish on AI narrative and Phil would do really well. Doesn't make any sense, right? Like whenever there is a um there is a positive narrative going on in the market, these you know like these coins and the devs try to pivot their um, current narrative to the hot ones, right? Like even something as Dino and Dead as RSR has started to pivot themselves into the RWA narrative, right? Filecoin pivoted to AI narrative. So these dino coins pivoting their narratives doesn't mean that they out of nowhere start getting bullish and start running strong. So now just don't tell me that you are also going to buy RSR because it's a RWA narrative and whatnot. But you recommend getting out of Link? 100%, man. Like if I have to give a perspective and like an example, someone like John who has been a Link maxi for like a very long time, and to him it does make sense because he made a bank on Link because he I think got Link at like few cents, and he rode it up till 40 $50. But even someone like a Link Maxi like John, he also ended up eventually like a few months back, right at the top, he ended up rotating out of Link, right, and even called it out for the group. Uh, just because something has good fund, like I still believe and I do agree with some of people saying that Link has one of the strongest and one of the greatest fundamentals in the market right now. They are also getting some affiliation with BlackRock and some hedge funds and some banks and stuff. So fundamental wise, it's insane. But if the price isn't going up, there no fundamental makes sense, right? You buy something to make gains on it, not just sleeping good because you bought a good fundamental coin. Doesn't make any sense. I think I might move my stops break even on near because the only way I see near going back to entry is BTC retracing it move down, and if it does, this means that my 4-hour trigger for a short gets activated. For that reason, I'd probably not want to be. I hope it doesn't. I want to make some good gains on my longs, but you never know. When did you enter near? Then did you post? Yeah, obviously I did, man. One hour closing. I usually don't look at 1 hour closes. Uh, I do look at if they are coming at like in the start of the move. Like for example, I did post at the at this 1 hour close that this is a really good looking 1 hour close, right? Because after a chop and grind down, if you end up getting a really strong early buyback, that's a good signal of a continuation of move up, right? And it kind of played well. But after that, 1 hour closes don't tell you much. So I'll probably wait for a 4 hour close. What else do we have to talk about? So you only use 4 hour daily and weekly? Kind of like these are the time frames I use to form my bias of the day. Like if I have to see if I like which side of the market I am aiming for, I usually look for triggers on at least 4 hour or 12 hour or dailies. These are like my weekly. I really rarely look at, but yeah, 4 hour, 12 hour daily, sometimes 3 day at max. Any news when ETFs will actually launch? I think I shared like I think most of you people don't even look at my corner anymore. I did share a link about what you should be expecting on ETF. There's a thread. I gave some my own views as well. Uh, US doesn't have 4 day weekend. It's a 3 day weekend. Like Saturdays off, Sundays off, and Mondays off as well. So stocks start trading on Tuesday. So kind of a 3 day long weekend. Uh, I kind of agree that whenever there is like a long weekend, market does kind of de-risk going into that. So yeah, like this is actually one of the reason I am looking for short triggers if 4 hour doesn't end up getting acceptance above, and if like 4 hour rejects. Another reason for me looking for shorts is that BTC would be giving me triggers. Plus, you usually get some sell-offs over the weekend, like long weekend. So yeah. Bro, do you see Link is getting ready for next move? What's your trigger for saying that? Most of the people are just bitter not trading uh, over the weekend, to be honest. Long weekends are never for trading. Like usual regular weekends, yes, you could trade. A lot of time weekends end up giving strong runs on market, but long weekends usually not. Like doesn't look bad, to be honest. Even though I've been bear posting a lot since start of the stream, but uh, this buyback looks great on Link. I think short term Link might perform well, at least into like $19 something. Uh, have a good time, Mario. Is ACI dead? Pretty much, I think so. It looks shit. I tried it once, but even after the reclaim, it doesn't do anything. SCI, TIA, INJ, these three were like the one bucket runners, and all these three are pretty much dead. I don't know, man. Like, I just hate to trade them. Maybe they eventually yeah, nothing goes like down only, right? Eventually they'd have some of their short term days. Like you could get few days where these three run strong, but higher time frame, I don't have any interest on them. Plus they are like even on short term they are just a pain to trade. Isn't FET Ocean Ajax merging together today? I don't think so. I don't think we have a official announcement of the merger yet from the devs. You think that Bucket will um, make a comeback? Come back as in like they used to? I don't think so. Like running back to their new all-time highs or stuff like that. Coming back as in like running good in short term at some time of the at some stage of the market in coming weeks or months, maybe, because yeah, the most dead stuff runs good at some day of a year. So s- for short term they could someday run good, but overall higher time frame I don't think so. Merger data was set for today. Don't know if they follow through. Merge d- was set for today, like officially announced by the devs, or like what people were speculating. FET Ajax and Ocean are expected, right? You people don't focus on the exact word. It's all been expectation and speculation. Like they themselves haven't announced a final fixed date. FET has been going down. I think most of the AI coins have been underperforming a lot. So I haven't gone over AVAX. AVAX looks dead, man. Like I'm surprised how strong of a like kind of a L1 beta it used to be with Sol, right? Like a lot of time it used to outperform this how much Sol was up on the day. But I think these are the levels you should be playing on AVAX. So this is kind of the range. This is kind of the mid range. It got sent back down. Unless you start to get like at least a 4 hour acceptance back above, you could see that we did try to reclaim above, got sent back down. So unless we actually start to flip above, I don't think you should be interested in AVAX. And this mid range comes around $39. So at least wait for 39 flip. I would love a bit more run on market before I start looking for shorts. The reason is because uh, you do have this flat 4 hour open on Sol, so I don't want to be aggressive on all shots if like Sol starts running into this flat 4 hour open. So maybe like one more run up on market, something like this. I was looking at tokenomics of Ondo Tailbinion supply. Okay, so how does that worry you? January 25, Ondo is having its unlock. Jan is still far away, no? Every bullish token has big unlocks at some stage of the market. Doesn't mean you get like 7 months before bearish on them. It is strongest runner on the market right now. I know, just letting people know what would happen like 7 months later. Hmm. I feel like I'm BTC is just like, even though I want to be bullish right now, but let's see. What else do we have to talk about? You people are getting too boring, man. Like, yeah, I think I might just get out of FTM to be honest at this point. Should we keep trades to minimum till 100%? Most people would be better not trading this entire weekend. Long weekends, most of the people get chopped out heavy. Uh, what do you see? I don't see anything that makes me less bullish. High time frame, I'm still super bullish. Intraday BTC might end up giving me a trigger that's like, usually what happens going into long weekend is that market participants like big players do start to de-risk because it's like a long weekend before they could start managing their positions again. And but I wouldn't blindly be short term bearish or blindly start looking for shorts just because of a long weekend, right? One more trigger that I need is that after a big move down on the market, one of the really good trend reversal trigger that I need that makes me like, I am bullish here, right? I longed here. You know, we longed on the stream, we took multiple longs, but now once it has played out, and now what would make me bullish as much as I was at the bottom is that if this trend continues, right? And one good indication for me for trend continuation is 4-hour RSI breaking back above the 50 level that it broke down from, right? So let's say if it doesn't end up flipping this 4-hour level, which comes in around 69 200, ends up rejecting down, ends up rejecting from this 50 level. instead of a continuation up, it would rather be for me a continuation back down, right? I would still think that these lows hold on BTC, but the way alts look, I think like if BTC starts to bleed down and just chop around over the long weekend, alts could start getting sold off. So I'm not flipping bearish. I'm just trading intraday short term, right? Just getting 5-10% moves on either side if I am able to catch them. Uh, do you believe in the idea of top being in just after elections? I think I believe more in what we see on the flow and uh, PA side charts. I think charts are a good way of telling you that the cycle top is in. I don't think so. It is yet. For me, cycle top would be in that once we break into new all-time highs, and then what you saw over here, if that begins to repeat at the next distribution phase, maybe around 80k, 90k, 100k, wherever that would be a good cycle top indication for me. But we'll see. It's still too early to be talking about cycle tops, I believe, especially after like ETH ETF getting starting to get approved. You have one more bullish narrative at least that would keep the market up before any top. Mm, I think on RWA you should rather focus on Ondo over Pendle. Is Pendle RWA? But even if it is, I think Ondo would still be a better bet. If you are bullish on market, just pray that BTC doesn't end up giving me short triggers. Because when I start to short, I am a bad BF. I like to fud everyone out. Last on FT. The Hellas, the one thing you should be noticing is that even if you don't cut your loss right now, eventually your trade is going to get closed sooner. Like the merger is coming closer and closer. Um, it was expected this week, but probably it would now be like next week, maybe. So even if you don't cut your position right now, it would be closed automatically on the merger day. All the leverage positions would be closed since like there would be a new ticker on the market. So all the leverage positions before that on FET Ocean Ajax would be closed automatically. So so they do tokenize yield. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not that bullish on Pendle. Like, I used to be. Pendle used to be on my top of my list of bullish coins, but ever since like it got rugged, 50% that like on a single day. I know it has given a strong buyback, but I'd still like. Why do people want to go with second best or third best or like what next to bid on that narrative? Why don't buy the leading coin of the narrative? Just look for pullbacks on Ondo. I'm long on FET and already. Yeah, okay, I did kind of answer that. that even if you're not willing to cut your loss out, eventually you would be forced to do that. So probably better to do it now than later. Uh, I love this power bank that I just ordered. I ordered like a month ago. I just received like few days back. It's a 250-watt power bank, and like I think it's like 30,000, 27,000 mAh something. It's Anker Prime 73. Anker Prime. I don't know. It's like Anker Prime 250 watt. It also comes with like a charging stand. So I just have it side of my bed. I just tap it on it. It begins charging. Like it charges 100% within 40 minutes, and then it charges my Mac in full speed in like within 40 45 minutes. So it's insane. Just Google Anker Prime 250 watt something power bank. I don't know the exact model, but in their Prime series, there is only one with 250-watt power. I didn't know like power banks could be this much advanced in technology. Like it also comes with an app where I could like monitor every single like cycles on it. What's the output? What's the input it's getting? How many? What's the battery life? Every single stuff. Yeah, this one. It's insane. Do you see Honda going for a 10 billion this cycle? Mm, what's the current market cap on it? So will you not be trading much? Yeah, unless it's like market gives me a short trigger, only then I would trade. But on the long side, long weekends have proven to be super unproductive to push on. 1.6 billion, FTB 11 billion. I think I'd rather just focus on the market cap, not on the FTB. Uh, yeah, I think it's pretty easy for it to run into like not 10, but at least like 7, 8. I could see Ondo being in like top 20 or 15 at least by cycle end, because ETF is kind of like ETF is what every time drives the RWA narrative, right? Like you saw RWA narrative running hot during the BTC ETF days. Now it started running again during the ETH ETF days. During the cycle, you might end up even getting like Sol or XRP ETF, right? So as long as ETFs keep on hitting the market, this narrative would perform well. So apart from AI and meme, RWA is like pretty much the third narrative, the only narrative apart from meme and AI that you could be really bullish on. And considering Ondo is like the leading coin of the narrative, so I could pretty much see it being a top 10, top 20 coin at least by the cycle end. RWA more than 100%. Like I and it's a big thing for me to say, but I even like Link or XRP better than gaming. Like gaming is the dead narrative of the cycle. Not to fud anyone out of the narrative, but gaming is dead, man. Like who even prefers crypto gaming at the cycle? It's so last cycle stuff. Rune good looks good. FTM will follow. The main thing you should be focused on is BTC following. BTC flips 69 200 ish, then yeah, everything looks good. If not, then everything would bleed down. So hope BTC gives a flip first. Once everyone says gaming is dead, nah. On narratives, never use this mindset, right? Like counter mindset, I agree works great when you are like applying it to overall like market sentiment. For example, like everyone's super bearish and stuff like that. That could give you a good bottom vibe. But on narratives, you actually need people to be interested, right? Like for example, you are telling me that when no one would believe in gaming, you would start buying gaming. Like why on earth? Like who else would buy your bag if no one is willing to buy, right? Like that's the most counterintuitive logic I've ever heard on a narrative. That's one thing that constantly made people buy and long ETH every time, right? Like people were like, ETH sentiment is at lows, ETH is getting flooded a lot and stuff like that. Yeah, you could give me example from 3 days ago when ETH gave a 30% insane move on 2 days, but literally it still is only 2x this entire cycle while Sol has ran insane, other L1 narratives have gone insane. So narratives do need some backing and some hype, right? Narratives don't run when people fud them. Like for example, okay, let me give you an example. Uh, Meme is the strongest narrative of the cycle, right? Did you see how memes performed for 4 5 days when just a single big account with like 500k followers started bear posting on meme, right? Just because due to that beginning of fear around that narrative, you could see how just like the top narrative of the cycle started underperforming by a lot for a few days, right? You don't need bearish sentiments around a narrative for it to run strong. It's how simple it is. Then best time to buy when it's okay. Another thing on what you said, it's good to buy undervalued and oversold stuff in bear market, right? If there is stuff that's getting sorry, oversold, if there is a stuff that's getting oversold and undervalued in a bull market, that's not the stuff to you buy, right? It's getting oversold and undervalued due to a reason. Because for example, with that logic, I could argue that Matic also is a good buy, right? Because it's getting it's almost like retraced its entire bull market move and it is now undervalued and is down a lot. You should start buying Matic probably then, right? Because it's down a lot, or you could start buying a lot of dead stuff across the market which got sold off during a hard during the war fund and pretty much retraced the entire bull market move, right? It's a good logic to apply during bear market, right? Start accumulating projects which are undervalued and have been sold off heavy and have good potential. Yes, definitely buy them. But if there are things that are getting sold off heavy in a bull market, that pretty much means that there are no buyers to buy your bags, right? Like if these things are not going up in a bull market, then which stage of market do you expect them to go up? Why is it hard to imagine that it wouldn't go up? Like, isn't 7 months of bull market enough to you to gauge where people's interests lie this cycle? How much more of a data and past price action you need to finally understand which things are good to buy and which are not. Like, these are good arguments where people could keep on arguing during bear market times, because you don't have enough data on when finally the bull market starts, which narrative would pick up the most, right? That's difficult to gauge. But when you have already went through 7 months of bull market, then you pretty much by that time know that which kind of things would run up the most once market goes into the risk mode again. Trades the charts, bro? I don't think so. Even though I am complete TA guy and I know shit about fundamentals, but I always tell people that s- choosing which coin you trade is 50% part of your trading system. Like, I could have exact two setups, exact two similar charts, right? Exact two similar triggers on both of them, and one could go really well and the other would literally do nothing, right? The only reason is, one, I choose from a really bullish narrative coin, right, on which my bullish triggers applied really well, and the other one was some dead stuff that I applied the same triggers on but it didn't work, right? So even in if you are a pure TA guy, which I am, right? I'm not saying TA is shit or something. The like 90% of what I know in this market is TA, right? I'm bad at FA stuff, but still, selection of what coins you trade and what coins and what narratives you invest is still, I believe, 50% part of your trading system at least, right? Like, for example, yesterday I had bottom triggers on the market, right? Now, I could have long ETH or I could have long BTC. Like, they both were at a decent retest level. They both had given a decent OI vibe. And the bottom triggers I have, I kind of had that on ETH too. But, I kind of knew that post ETH, like charts wise, TA wise, they both seemed like a good long, right? But fundamental wise, you should be knowing that ETH went through a major hype, right? And it's probably not a good long to be longing right now, even though you have your TA triggers. So selection of what asset you choose to long um, is in my opinion like 50% of your trading system. There are a lot of time, like for example, I was super bullish at the 61K bottom that we had, and when like post CPI market ran into 65, 66K, right? That day, even though I was max bullish and max long, I ended up making $0 in net profit. The reason being, I ended up choosing longing coins that even though went like initially up decent amount, but they most retraced the move back down with the slightest rejection on BTC, right? So that day is selecting wrong coins, even though I had all my triggers, all my, you know, conviction and all the TA stuff, and it kind of played well, but I still didn't end up making money because I ended up choosing wrong coins at that day, which were the meme coins, because meme coins didn't run good. I just underestimated the CT FUD that was going around. I thought that even though there's CT FUD going around meme coins, they might still end up running well, but they didn't, right? They kind of lagged hard in those days. So coin selection and what alts you trade, if you're an alts trader, it's never only the charts that you should be looking at. Uh, no, I'm not saying that if you have to enter a long, you start researching on devs, you start researching on what they are looking for and stuff like that. I even don't know what the market cap is on most of the alts I trade, right? I know shit about FA, but I am just saying about having a good knowledge at least on what's running hot, what's trending, where market is moving on to, what narratives are running good. That's something like at least basic of market interest is the knowledge. I think um, what you should definitely be applying to your trading. Mm, I think Beam is the only thing I might not FUD a lot, even though it's like, yes, a gaming narrative and stuff, but Beam only ended up being like the only gaming coin of the cycle that, and I think more than a gaming narrative, it was like more of a rebranding and a newer coin narrative that ran and could still run, I think. But yeah, it might be like the only gaming related coin I might not bear post and like FUD people as much. Because more than like a gaming, it has like a newer coin rebranding, some good, you know, teams behind it. So probably it still ends up making decent move, but apart from Beam, rest of gaming stuff looks dead. Yeah, like whenever you get a bit of rebranding plus a lot of big, influences pushing it the narrative, they do end up running good short term, but overall, that doesn't make me still bullish on the narrative. Beam was MC Merit Circle rebranding, if I'm not wrong, right? I think we went a long discussion on RWA narrative. What more do you want me to talk about it? It is the third most bullish narrative of the cycle after meme and AI. Mhm. But I also just don't pull up some random RWA shit stuff that just has RWN name and you want to buy it, like someone said link or a RSR or stuff like that. Just focus on. I don't think, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, since I'm not well into this narrative, but I have not seen anything really bullish in this narrative apart from Mondo. Like OM, PolyX, these kind of had their small runs, but there was also a Sol newer coin listing that had a RW narrative like Impulse really pushed it, but that didn't even perform really well. So I don't see anything apart from Ondo doing super well in that narrative. So that is why I just keep on shilling Ondo because like you are much better buying what is leading the narrative. Seapool? Is it on ETH? Like, is it on any like regular exchange or is it only a uh, on chain? It's on KuCoin. Interesting chart. Is it on Bybit too? Yeah, it is. That's a good mention. I could agree with this chart looking bullish. If it's RWA as you people say. What's the market cap on it? I don't really believe in partnerships. Like partnerships have made marked like gazillion of tops on a lot of narratives and stuffs. 78 uh, 78 mils. Wow, that's too low still. It looks really good, man. I think like I wouldn't buy right now. The only thing I would wait for is this level to get flipped. But if it does, I think this is something that could run really good. If it ends up flipping above 22 cents on, let's say, daily or 4 hours, you could try a play with like a 10%, or if you want to like go really swing type of play, then like a 20-25% invalidation. And it's also a really volatile coin. Like, even if it runs back to its previous highs, it would be like a 60% move. But I do like the chart, I agree. What else do we have to talk about? Yeah, BTC I'm closely observing right now. 62 9.2 does need to get flipped. If it doesn't, and we start bleeding down, but before in flipping bearish short term, I do need my trigger of this 4-hour RSI getting back below 50. If we get that, probably I'll be short term risk off. If not, then you could expect a weekend rally up. Like, it could still be a small rejection from here and then send back up. So until you have your short triggers, don't like be blindly bearish or blindly start shorting. SFP in 5 minute, for God's sake, who trades on 5 minute, man? Like, unless you are a god tier scalper or you have some insane skill, stop looking at 5 minute charts and making like calling out tops just because there is some 5 minute SFP or something. Always use high time frames to form any sort of bias or conviction on market. Sell ready for a shot, up 150% today. You are kind of people who get wrecked very early stage of the cycle. Just because it's up a lot, you want to short it. What if it goes up 200%? Do you have a short triggers? If yes, then yeah, you could. But if you want to short it only because it's up 150%, doesn't mean it can't go up 20 more percent or 50 more percent up. I don't have trading triggers on something that's up 150% on a day, neither on long side or short side. So I can't tell you much on something like that. Unless it's like consolidating strong and I look for a breakout play on such coins. But other than that, I'm not a top shorters on strong runners. HP, what do you think of here Dodge? Let's look at it. How many zeros are on Bybit? 1000? It's like million for real. Like, tell me exact zeros I have to put in. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, it's actually. What is it only on Mexi? I thought it's on Bybit too. Then why didn't I get it on Bybit? One. How many zeros? Is it seven zeros? One, two, three, four. Like, why does Bybit do this, man? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. What? How many zeros? Okay, I didn't write AI dot. Sorry, my bad. AI dot USGT. Man, why are you torturing me like this? Like, either tell me the exact ticker or just like stop mentioning this coin to me. I'm annoyed now. Okay, let me copy paste. Ah. Yeah, I know. Wait, was I in indicators all this time? Is that the reason I wasn't getting the chart? Never mind. Uh, I think this is the flip you should be waiting for, no? Is it a Sol meme coin or a ETH meme coin? But yeah, I think you have clear triggers here to wait for. This is definitely not a place you FOMO long into, but if it ends up flipping here, I think a lot of Bybit thousand stuff has been running strong. No, like anything that has thousand behind it, it's running strong. Like I saw thousand turbo something being up like 100%, thousand a lot of like weird thousand stuff. But I think this is the flip you should be waiting for. Okay, I think we have went through everything. I'm going to wrap it up early today because it's just getting boring and nothing much to talk about. Um, hope everyone had a good time. Uh, in summary, I would say that if you're long from bottom, that's good. Move your stops and let them run risk free. This is definitely not a place to FOMO long, especially if you're going into a 3 day long weekend. Above 69.2, like a strong 4 hour close above 69.2 would be super bullish. A rejection with 4-hour RSI closing back below 50 would be short-term bearish trigger. If not, I think then if we do end up not rejecting and like closing above, I think market looks really good for a weekend run. But if not, then I'd probably be looking for some shorts. So simple game plan from here. That's it. Hope everyone had a good time. Take care. See you people soon. Allah Hafiz.